All right, we are back. Welcome to another episode of Ran Out of Talent. How's it going tonight, Zach?
Not too bad. I had some earbud issues, and now it's all good.
Yeah. I think there's something on my mic like moisture, oil. I don't know what that is. I don't. I hope the cat wasn't like mad at me and figure out a way to pee on my microphone or anything. Doesn't smell like it. Dude, cats are
That would be
evil when they want to be.
hilarious.
So, yeah, what have you been up to the last week and a half? We're trying to get back on these Sunday schedules.
Um, I went to the INS race at Hoosier,
Yep.
and I did a pop-up event. I raced once at a pop-up portable track at a
Okay.
local hobby shop here. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. Man, that's really weird. Usually people are joining in right now and there's nobody.
Hmm.
That's odd. That's all right though. We'll keep on rolling. They can listen to the audio. That
Or go
is
back and rewatch the video.
yeah,
There's
on YouTube. Search Ran Out of Talent on YouTube. Before we get too far into this one, Roach RC did a little Mayako video on YouTube today. Is pretty good.
Oh, did he? Nice.
Yeah. Anthony
Hmm.
checking in. How's it going, Anthony? Yeah, so tell me about this pop-up race now. What did you do it with? All that stuff. Like, did you like use a bunch of like 2x4s, plow discs, what have you, or
So I did a short video on the DRC Facebook page. You can see my ugly mug, and it shows the pop-up track and some of the racers. It's out for 1RC, so they're like a little bit bigger than your phone.
yep. Oh, the
Uh,
oval cars.
Yeah, well, there's different. You can run them on a variety of surfaces. Oval is one of those.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, so that was pretty fun. I ran I think it was called Modified Midget.
Yep.
Um,
That
which
is
they go
correct.
pretty quick. I did get the fast lap. Um,
When did you?
no, they spin out really easily.
Yeah.
So
They're oh, sorry, go for it.
that's okay. I think I was about like 3 seconds behind the leader.
Right. That's what I've been hearing about those 1RC cars. They are the coolest scale looking cars. And I'm like, why aren't these more popular? And people, for, well, lack of being politically correct, they're just like, they're just not easy to drive.
Um, I think the slower classes are easier to drive, and I know you can tune them.
Yeah.
If I had more time with the car, I think it would be okay, like tuning wise. But I got one practice pack,
Oh,
and well, I just showed up. I was like, hey, I'm gonna,
I see. Okay. I'm
stop and buy 'em.
popping it up. I'm popping it up on Facebook right now.
Yeah.
So let me enlarge
DRC
it.
here at Scale Reproductions Hobby Shop.
Oh,
If I can figure out, there we go.
because these
hang on.
things would be perfect at the oval track I run at, and like I said, in my opinion, they're some of the coolest looking oval cars. Hey, Jacob Schweisberger checking in. How's it going?
Well, I think they could be ran on probably on road as well. I think a few tracks do that. They're just kind of small. I would say there's no reason they couldn't run on an asphalt track, other
Right.
than you could get like 5 laps before they
Gotcha.
die. They use like 300 milliamp batteries.
Oh, really?
From the DRC banner.
So here, let me.
Checking out the
So they did a little track
from
with it.
BBC. Pretty cool. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Probably.
Yeah, Party Crashers does something pretty similar to this. They have a portable track. Oh man, Schweisberger's hooked. He just ran 21.5 street stock on Carpet Oval. It is.
Dave over here doing some fun stuff.
You know what, Jacob? I'll tell you this much: run a 13.5 sprint on dirt. Those mods are rad. See the midget there, mods there.
Pretty small hand for scale here. It's about a little bit bigger.
God, those mods look so cool. In comparison to the bodies that we use for mods now, they are just so cool.
Well, and I don't think the bodies really have a lot of handling effect on them.
Not on those, no.
Maybe we'll do a.
They don't really go that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they go pretty quick, but they're not like.
Hobby shop a little bit later.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
We got a big old shop in there.
Wow, that is a big hobby shop.
Good stuff.
So is that your local hobby shop?
That's the closest one. I don't. They have. It's probably like. Probably like a third RC stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But most, and then like a third, like models, like
yeah. So it's a hobby shop.
Yeah, and then like a third like train stuff. And I know I'm like simplifying it, but that's a lot. And there's a lot of plain stuff in the RC section.
I'll tell you what. So we used to have one of the best national facilities back in the day, Thunder Road. They closed year and change ago, whatever. But when that place was thriving, they had stuff for Warhammer. They had, just like you said, models. They had just every niche, because a hobby shop shouldn't be inclusive just to RC cars, even though, you know, that I would probably say that's probably 15 to 20% of their sales. So
I'm not sure. When I was there for like an hour and a half, and there was quite a bit of people coming out with RC cars.
Well, that's cool.
We're not related to the 1RCs.
Okay.
There was one of the racers there bought another one shop. But there was like a couple Traxxas and like maybe an Arma or something. I saw there was like 3 or 4 cars that went out the door in like an hour and a half. I was kind of surprised. And there were other people coming out with stuff. I just didn't know what it was, because the RC, like a Traxxas box, it's big. You can see what it is,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of, but it's a cool place. So that's a Scale Reproduction Hobbies in Louisville, Kentucky. It's maybe like 20 minutes from downtown.
Okay.
And I think there's another hobby shop in Louisville somewhere too. I'm not entirely familiar with it. They don't do a lot of on-road stuff.
Okay.
And they're just like standalone hobby shops. There's no tracks really involved with them. So it's kind of, I haven't been to the other one. It's so much, it's kind of hard to do all of the stuff. Only reason I went to that was so that I could hang out with Dave. So Dave's on the team as well.
Yes.
And then he started DBC Motorsports, which is a portable, the portable racetrack. So he takes that to all sorts of different things. He goes, he's got like contracted to do a couple like adult birthday parties. He's got a couple kid birthday parties.
That's so cool. And that's a lot of what Party Crashers does as well in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. It would be cool to expand that to like a parking lot style.
So and again, Party Crashers, that's what they do. They can do like a parking lot race. All the parking lot races I did this summer was Party Crashers, but they scaled down all the way to these Hot Wheels size RC cars if you only have like a little tabletop. So he goes from 10 scale down to like 1/64 scale. I think they're teeny, and everything in between. Jacob saying he tried it. 8.5 on a Custom Works Sprint. So much grip at wheelies on the back. See, Jacob, that would be rad for dirt oval. But carpet oval's fun too. Yeah. Last weekend, we did the finale at Full Throttle Raceway. I was gonna bring out A scales. Zach, I think I've talked about this before, but I think I'm done with A scale.
Yeah.
I just
I
don't
know.
find the enjoyment in it anymore. I don't find the enjoyment in the tires. I mean, my truck is so rad and I just don't enjoy driving it. I don't do terrible with it either. It's just like, it's like, why am I doing this? But I got some FPV for my truck here. I put a GoPro in that thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it does affect the way it handles, so they're not my fastest laps. And look at the sun in this. I forgot my sunglasses and my sun hat. Hold on, let me pop it up. This is a little slow. There we go. All right. So, no real big excuse. I still won the heat, I think, but it was freaking sun was beating in my eyes and I couldn't see from all the sweat. My fifth scale truck looked like a green dot on the screen. And let's put some volume to that. I don't want it so loud, but it's going to be loud. Sorry, guys.
That's not too bad.
There we go. So we'll just do one lap because it's such a cool track. Sean does such a great job at building tracks. And that's a 40-pound truck I'm throwing around that track. This is a jump right here. I got my head hit on. So anyways, yeah, that's the basic gist of it. Had a good time. I won the points. I quote unquote won the race, but I let unfortunately a lot of guys busted out of it, so I let Sean Van Dalen and Chad Johnson drive my truck in the main. It's like, yeah, you guys can take her for a spin. But yeah, man, it was a ton of fun.
It's cool. Have you done a lot of the GoPro stuff?
Yeah, and again, you're not if you were to go to my TikTok page where there's a lot of copywritten music on, because that video's on my TikTok page with Thunderstruck behind it, that would have gotten us booted off YouTube very quickly. It's one of those things. Matt Del Judas checking in. He says he's looking forward to the Christmas Classic. That's awesome. Oh, he wants to thank Tyrone Jefferson and Ben Toberman for coming down for the first race of the Motive Series. They had 95 entries. On Road is alive and well. That is great for, especially it's early October.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
Yeah.
What's up, Matt? How you doing?
Yeah. My buddy Joey Carlson and I were talking earlier today. He's like, man, indoor off-road numbers have been a little weak. I'm like, I'm not even looking at my stuff until the beginning of November. I still have one fifth scale race left, October 19th at Southern Minnesota Raceway.
What was that for your race last week? Like 70?
What was that?
What was the temperature?
Oh, God. It was horrific. Saturday, it was 88 with 0 breeze on Saturday. It wasn't humid. It was just super stale. And then it was really nice on Sunday. It was a little bit breezy. It was 82 degrees, sunny, and just beautiful out.
I mean, I wouldn't go inside the race either.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in Minnesota. You know, people still talk about the blizzard of 90 or 91 is a Halloween blizzard. And I remember it when I was a little kid and I was walking around trick-or-treating with snow almost up to my chest.
Wow.
That could happen really quick.
Yeah, well, from like late October to, is it late March? You
Yeah.
guys can get a lot of snow.
I'd say actually late April.
Late April. So even that's a
Yeah.
long time to be like inside. So yeah, I don't blame you guys from doing.
My asshole cat just came by my computer desk and just vomited. Dude. Dude. Man, I am tired of these animals.
Well, take them
So,
to your local Chinese restaurant. I mean,
yeah.
pet shelter.
Yeah. I have a story about
Jokes.
that for another day. No.
Oh, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, that thing that I said we had to get authorized to say
Yep.
has not been authorized.
Yep. Nope. That's fine.
We'll have
I
to wait
figured
till the
you.
next podcast.
Yep. You would have told me at this point.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of notes. So we were talking about some of the IFMAR stuff earlier today.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out. So I'm bringing product to Worlds for the hobby shop
Yep.
to sell, and I was trying to figure out what product to bring.
Right.
And all that because it's going to be a consignment product, and generally one of the best selling products I have at consignment races is the heated lipo sleeves.
Yep.
And so I kind of gave the Ryan, the hobby shop owner, a brief list of things I was gonna bring, and he says, "Well, I think heating is still illegal with IFMAR." And I went, "Oh man, I didn't even think about that." So I went and looked at the IFMAR. Well, I tried to look at the IFMAR rules. I looked at 5 different sections, and you had to help me because I didn't look in any of the right spots. I thought it under the let me just pull it up so I say the right thing here. I want to say it's like 12th and 10th scale.
Okay.
Yeah, 12th and electric track version 2023 is what I looked under.
Yeah.
That's what I race. And then I also looked under the general WC rules 2023. It wasn't under there either. So I guess I only looked in 2 spots. And I didn't think to look under the electric battery motor rules because I thought those were more geared towards manufacturers like specs and whatnot.
Right.
I was incorrect. That's actually, I guess, where I should have looked.
Was there a rule? I ain't looked too much farther, but isn't there a rule, but only for front wheel drive sedans, to where you can't have a repurposed like server or PC power supply as your power supply?
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So I think IFMAR needs to redo their stuff. So I didn't look through this whole thing, but so in the electric on-road, there's a section under a supporting class. I'm going to say this right here. 6, front wheel drive class supporting. So 6.1's chassis, 6.2's body, 6.3 motor and ESC.
Yep.
A battery motor ESC, excuse me. So that's where, so I used the search function and then it brought me here. So under that, it says any FMAR approved 2S LiPo, 8.4 voltage, max charging rate of 12 amps, which is, whatever. Max discharging rate of 20 amps. No LiPo bag, or LiPo bags are, LiPo bags are mandatory. No discharge banks, no converted PC power supplies, no battery warming. If you're discharging something at 1 amp, you're warming a battery. So
yes,
I don't know what, but that's just for it's 6.31 under section 6.
Yeah,
which would be the supporting class, and there's no other mention in the whole document about.
God, it makes no sense. I mean,
why would you put that in there if you have this other section for batteries and motors?
I wonder if they have like a specific kind of power supply they want you to use.
I don't know. I personally messaged Eric Anderson, the IFMAR president,
Yep.
and asked him. He saw my message. He
Yep.
has not replied to my message.
Yeah, he's probably like, F this guy.
Well, I just want to clarify, like, what
Yep.
do I need to bring a different charger? I guess I have some AC chargers some nice toolkit AC chargers that Donovan RC now offers.
Yeah. I did want to talk to you about those toolkit chargers, but we'll look at them next.
Yeah. So back to IFMAR. I don't know. So I'm gonna give it a couple days and then figure out what I need to do.
Right.
So while I was perusing through these rules, I did come across something that was interesting that pertains to a recent change that was announced.
Yep.
Actually, I'm gonna pull up the screenshot because I don't remember which section it's under. So, let's see here. So under the general rules, it says 1.1 2 is the rule. So it says no change to rules or approvals will be permitted within 4 months of the World Championship event, irrespective of section. So for all the sections, any rule changes due to blatant errors, unforeseen circumstances, or urgent matters during the period of 4 months prior to the event may be made with unanimous vote of active board member blocks. I'm sorry, I can't read.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So how I read that, and I think how they would mean to say that is assuming there are no unforeseen unforeseen things, no errors, and no urgent matters. The rules should be used as followed in the rule book.
Right.
That was written previously. And so about maybe 2 weeks ago now, IFMAR announced the stage 2 report for the Worlds I'm attending. And this is going to have no bearing on me because it's literal non-factor. I'm going to be somewhere in the back circulating. I'm going there for the experience.
Yep.
Maybe it might have a couple positions for me and whoever is around my skill level. But I'm not going to be fighting for any TQs here.
Okay.
Just to throw that out there,
yeah, you're realistic about it.
It doesn't particularly matter to me about the tire warmer or the cleaner or the sauce. Just tell me what I'm supposed to use and I will use that. Okay, no problem. So this whole summer, based off of the rules written in IFMAR's rulebook, I wasn't using warmers. Well, I started out using warmers, read the rulebook, realized we weren't supposed to be using warmers. And so I stopped using warmers. And so that's how I practiced this whole summer.
Yeah.
All 8 events. 8 times that I ran. And now, 6 weeks before the event, not 4 months, we're changing the rules and allowing not only a tire warmer, but now we have a mysterious cleaner. And I commented on IFMAR's page, and their response to my question was, would you prefer not to have warmers or cleaner?
Yeah, I mean, that's how you've been practicing because that's what you assume the rule was.
Yeah.
So now my question for you is, would you prefer not to have warmers and cleaner?
I don't know about the cleaner. So I normally use Mighty Gripper, the same sauce we're supposed to use, the V3 yellow, for my cleaner and my sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like anything, I don't know. And at the Texas race, they told me to use a different cleaner, so I bought a different cleaner, and I used that. And it was I don't know. I couldn't tell the difference. My car was so terrible. I was hoping
Yeah.
the cleaner made a difference. I was like, oh, it's got to be this.
Yeah.
Every time I go out there, it's I got it fixed.
Yeah. Ooh, Justin Dawkins checking in. Justin, we're talking about your race coming up on October 19th. We're talking about racing basically until the snow flies because it's always long winter in Minnesota. So, yeah, you're just trying to get solid roar information. Or IFMAR, sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
IFMAR.
That's okay. So I don't know. I'm kind of I'm miffed about it. I just want I think for that time of year in California, I think warmers would probably be advantageous. Now,
Yes.
cleaner, I don't know. I haven't really used it. But that being said, the grip at that track is supposed to be way higher than the grip at Queen City, which I ran without warmers the whole summer. And I
Yeah,
have to tell you, after 3 laps, there's no difference
sure.
for me. I mean, I like you. So you do like normally you get like 2 practice laps.
Yep.
So that first lap you go back in, your first like I guess race lap is kind of sketchy. It's not
Yeah.
great, but it's not bad. The first lap you always kind of I take it. I can't go like blazing fast the first lap, but I try my best to make a good lap out of it. It's normally like half a second slower, depending like what the track is.
Yep.
And that's what I got. And some of these guys can go out there first lap, fast lap. I'm like, oh, good for you, man.
Yeah, yeah. So earlier you mentioned the toolkit charger. And I was looking on Evan Tapp's page and I'm like, what the hell is that? Because like I've said several times, I need a charger. I've just been cheap. And then Evan's like, dude, you get these on Donathan. It's a toolkit charger and it's like super rad looking.
Which one is it?
Oh,
you're
yeah. So that seems, well, I wouldn't even call it the mid just because it's not the quad charger. The quad charger is not too attractive to me because I don't need the quad charger. I need the dual.
Well, the quad also has a wireless phone charger in it.
Oh, does it?
It does. The top part is the wireless charger.
See,
So
no,
it's $60 more though.
yeah, but that's still cheaper than an iChargers are proven, and that's why you
so
said,
this is a DC charger only, I believe.
Is it?
And I think the Q6 is an AC/DC.
Okay.
If you scroll down, it should say, but I will double check this.
I will scroll down in a second, but what is it doing? It's hooked up to the computer there. Is it like transferring data?
Well, no. Well, it may do it through there, but it's charging a computer. It's powering a computer.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's got a I want to say a 60-watt USB-C. Maybe it'll say here.
50 amp charging, 1600. No, that's all the. So let's go down to specs. Come on.
All right. 65-watt USB-C on it.
Yep. It's got 3.5-inch LCD display. It can do up to a 8S battery.
Okay, so this one is a DC, so you have to use a power supply.
Yeah, well, dude,
input voltage there, yeah.
I mean, most serious racers are looking for a power supply charger.
Right. So there are actually Toolkit has a bunch of these cool chargers, and apparently this is their newest one.
I'm going back here. I want to go to this quad charger.
Yeah, so we brought in 5 Toolkit chargers.
Yep.
So the 2 most popular ones right now in the US, according to Toolkit, is the Q6 and the M8D.
Yep.
So this one it's pretty cool. So it's AC/DC, so you don't have to have a power supply.
Right.
You can charge 4 batteries at once, and then the top is a wireless charging pad for your phone or whatever.
Or your
wireless.
radio
Oh,
could
you could
probably work on
radio.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was about to say that would be actually that's probably a good use for it.
that's kind of slick.
Yeah.
I mean, because of the wireless charging pad and its capability of charging 4 batteries at once, it's not as sleek, but it's still a nice looking charger.
hmm
So, you were saying did you use this charger at the Nationals or one of these?
I have not used any of these chargers yet,
Not yet.
so I know
So
I'm still rocking my 406 Duo.
I am too. And like I said, I got to beat the devil out of it to make the wheel work.
I still think that could be replaced pretty easily. You can get parts
Yeah.
for the 40. I know, but
I've had it for 10 years and there's these new cool toolkit chargers.
you should buy one.
Yeah.
I'm a little biased though. I'll tell you.
I mean, $200 for a quad charger. It doesn't look like you have the same charging amperage with this though.
No, so that one it's kind of hard to read. So if you scroll down right there, you see the max charging current.
Yep.
I think that says 15 amps for 4 channels, but
Yep.
does that say DC on it?
So yeah, it says 250 watts, but now go down to the 500 watts. It's 25
synchronous.
amps. Yeah.
So AC, you can do 15 amps too, but it's only 100 watts. So that's going to be your voltage of your battery. So like for 2S, it's not going to matter. You should be able to probably do 2 or maybe 3. I'm guessing on wattage. You have to do the actual math, which
Right.
I'm not doing. But yeah. So I think it's a cool charger, especially for the price. A quad charger that is 15 amps, which is kind of, I wish it would do 20. If it did 20, I think it'd be no problem.
Right. But, and again, though, if you, I really think that
M7, right
the
there,
M7,
scroll up a little.
okay. Scroll. Oh, right here. Oh,
Yeah.
it's the little guy.
That thing is tiny. It's like the size of my earbud case, like a credit card.
Really?
It's a dual. Oh, that's a single. Oh,
yeah,
but it's still. And then the other one, the
M6, or sorry.
Yeah, the M6. Let's see here.
The M6D.
Pink. Yeah, that one just slightly bigger.
Slightly bigger, and it's a dual.
Yeah. I think that's
Jacob's wondering, what would you choose, this or the iCharger? Well, Jake, there is zero wrong with the iCharger. I've had the 406 Duo for 10 years without a hiccup. I would just buy this because it's new and it's cool looking.
Yeah. So from my understanding, it will do very similar things to the iCharger. I don't have any information on it. I haven't used them. Some of the people on the DRC team do use them. And a couple more people have bought them. Jacob Cruz uses them, and he says he really likes them.
Okay.
So
yeah, Evan Tapp says he really likes his as well, because I talked to him a bit about his. And yeah, he's got the M8D.
That one right there. Yeah, and pricing on them. So that's the map pricing.
Yeah.
I was kind of actually surprised at the margins they give you compared to what I've been used to with iCharger.
Yep.
And I'm not to like, so that's just their map pricing. And then if you go to like A main, it's actually more.
Oh, really?
It's like $5. Some of them, one of them was like $10 more. I don't remember which one, but I just did whatever the map pricing was. And I was like, that's a better margin than I make on the iChargers.
So quantity of 2. So you add your 2 cables for $70.
It depends which ones you want. But yeah, so I thought it would be nice if somebody wanted just the charger. You can hit add to cart. You don't have to do anything. But if
Yeah.
you want like charge leads or a lipo bag or a
Yeah.
power supply or anything, it's all right there. And then you could also do like a so if you need a lot of stuff and you're ordering like a whole bunch of stuff for your pit, if you go to the pit package under pit
Where's that?
products, under
Where's
pit
that?
products.
Oh, I'm not seeing it. Up, down, left, right.
Oh, hold on, let me go back to go up to the categories.
Okay, categories. Okay. Oh, there it
Pit
is. I was
products
just pit products.
and then pit package.
Pit package right here.
Right.
Sorry, guys. I am a tick off today. Like I was telling Zach before we started, something's a little off with me.
So
So-
there you can choose like the whole shebang for everything
Oh.
you need. And then I'll give you a 5% coupon code if you purchase $100 or more, and you can see that in the description.
But you can buy literally everything here.
Yeah, we're out of stock of the 456 and the 458 right now, but
Yeah.
you could buy like the whole gamut. So this is all ready to ship stuff. So there's nothing in here that is custom made. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at everything. Lipo safety device. You got the magnetic lipo safe. Add $15 if you don't want to heat. But if you do want to heat, your option is right here.
Mhm.
That is nice. Hey,
Yeah.
Joey
So-
Fitzsimmons checking in.
Just trying to make it easy for people to
Yeah, man. And again, this toolkit charger, I don't know what it is about it. I just really like the look of it. I do.
yeah. We're not gonna have. I think we only have a couple left in stock. So
Man.
if you're wanting them, if not, well, I'm gonna order more at some point. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah. Oh, Joey's saying he should have came on today. He's bored driving. Yeah, but Joey, your earbuds pick up road noise like crazy. I only have one news deal that we haven't hit on yet.
What's that?
Ricardo Bertone departs from Infinity, and just like you and a lot of people speculated, maybe it's a Barufalo going over to
Right.
Infinity. Marco Barufalo.
Ricardo Bertone. So let's pull up his Facebook page. All right. Yeah. Well, I guess I should. Maybe it's something else.
Yeah.
I pulled
Oh,
up his page, but
Doug Reek checking in. Yeah. Let me go back to Facebook.
oh, here it is.
Okay.
Nope, no new posts. So it just says departing Infinity. I mean, I can't imagine, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Infinity. They have more money than they know what to do with. They come out with a mediocre car, from what I understand, and it doesn't make a splash.
No.
And then they lose one of their best drivers. So Barufalo runs for work right now.
I think so. Or Techno. No, he left Techno, I believe. No, does. Yeah, so Barufalo is WIRC or something like that. WRCE or.
WIRC.
Yeah.
I got it here.
So. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who goes where. Lefty is coming out of retirement.
I saw that. I think that's fun.
I do.
It's really fun.
Yeah. I mean, silly season shouldn't be as fun as it is, but I mean, there's shit that just all of a sudden comes out of left field like, oh, you didn't see that coming.
So let me ask you, where do you think, is he going to get a seat somewhere? Or is he going to privateer?
I think he'll get a seat somewhere, just not anything for the rest of the year. It's
Yeah, but
probably
the
already
year's
lined up.
over. I mean,
I mean, the
let him
year
try out
is
some
over,
stuff.
but I don't know. I don't know. I assume he would. Maybe they'll swap seats, like kind of like. Do you remember when one championship traded with the UFC fighters? One
Hmm.
championship got Mighty Mouse, and the UFC got Ben Askren.
Yeah, I mean, it's those are well.
I mean, I know
I
it's
feel like
different.
those aren't the same.
They're not, but it is because they're professional at whatever they're doing, and it's rival companies trading.
Yeah, this is more like, I mean, to bring it to F1, it would be more like the Williams and Haas trading.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That's interesting. And yeah, we only have like one question from Aiden Burke. Aiden from the Extra Lap RC podcast. I think he's been on it again lately, which he should be all the time. I haven't been listening to many podcasts lately. I think I'm going to get, if possible, if they have them at Target, because that's where I get my glasses. There are glasses with Bluetooth speakers built into them.
Those are cool. I seen some of those at so I got new shoes yesterday,
Yeah,
and the place I go has like, I have terrible feet, so
yeah,
I go to a fancy fancy foot shoe store,
yeah,
fancy shoe store that has other fancy things. They have like rollers and various things, but one of them they called like open air earbuds, and they have open air glasses.
yeah.
So they have like little, they look like glasses, but then they have a little like a V in them with a speaker in it,
Right.
and they work pretty good, honestly.
Well,
Um,
I'm not allowed to have earbuds at work, and that's why I haven't been listening to the
mm,
same amount of. It's something about
I'll be right
professionalism.
back, Joe.
Yeah, go for it. You know, Jacob is wondering, do you think Sanwa is going to come out with a new remote to rival Spectrum? Jacob, no. Nobody's. I can't say nobody because Fly Sky is pretty freaking cool in that way, but at the end of the day, whatever Spectrum is doing is there's a lot of gimmicks there that most racers won't use or they'll use once. It's kind of like how a lot of cars have the flappy paddle shifters. You use them once and you're like, huh, that's kind of cool. And you just never use them again. I'm looking for a heat now. Because Aiden was wondering if I saw the video of this is a track where the Worlds is going to be held, the 10 scale 2025. I'm going to pull that up right now. I don't know if I should use audio. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to use audio. It's electric anyway, so not much cool. Man. So when Zach comes back, we'll run through this track a little bit. It's fairly cool. You know, Jacob, that was one of the hardest things that I've done is when Mod was introducing the new Spectrum radio. Yeah, Brian, I agree. Nobody's really worried about Spectrum. But I was working for Mod at an INS event, and I think it was Nick Mulatto came up and he's like, "I'd like to, go through the new Spectrum radio on your broadcast," and I had to hold the camera on that thing. Oh man, tough moments in RC careers. That's all I'm going to say about that. Zach, you're muted. There
Shoot.
you go.
So one of, and I don't know if he wants me to say this, so I will say somebody that is very good at RC racing switched from Sandlot M17 to the Spectrum radio
Yep.
And he likes it.
Well, that's good. That's good. You know, and it's never too. A company can always come back. You know what I mean? Uh, 2 years ago, if you would have said, "Would you consider a Fly Sky for a radio?" I would have said, "Absolutely not. Not on your freaking life." Now, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
not that
no,
I got to hold it and play with it, and so the M17 is like about the same weight as an M12.
yeah.
Like it's a little
A
lighter,
little lighter, a little smaller.
but it's about the same.
Yeah.
The Spectrum is like a pound heavier, maybe
Oh,
more. It's a lot heavier than the M17.
but it's got a lot of features. Like, I bet it still has that Android style feature to where you can like
Mhm.
play Pandora on it or something like that.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's got the Android platform. Matt actually would be a good
Yeah.
person to do that. But Matt, I mean, you ran this one of the Spectrum radios last year at the Motive Series. Um,
Oh.
I no. No, it
He
does not.
says the weight disappears you when you drive. Um, Maybe in a on-road 5 minute or 8 minute race, but man, hold that radio for 30 minutes. Tell me how it feels.
I
That-
like notice my fingers move with heavier radios.
yeah. And you know,
And I'm not the strongest guy, but I feel like neither like you're probably stronger than I am. And what do you think?
here's the deal. The weight of a radio to me doesn't matter until you get past that 6 minute mark. You get past that 6 minute mark, and then it's like you start to feel it, and then you know you don't want to be coming into the pits while your guy's pitting your car and having to windmill your trigger finger to get the feeling back.
That's fair.
I've seen it happen on the drive, and not with just Spectrum radios, with other radios as well.
Yeah.
With the M12, I've seen it a lot. With a lot of Futabas, I've seen it. I do not see that with the Fly Sky, and I do not see it with the M17. But like I said, though, no, that being said, Spectrum for sure can come back if it's better than whatever that D is, either a DX5 or DX6. It was just an absolute pile of trash.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't the last Spectrum radio I ran was the D3.
Same here. And I remember I had to put caps in absolutely everything I had.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they were still fairly new to the game back then. That was probably 2010, 2011 is when I had it. Oh,
It was
Matt's saying the DX6R had problems. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what year it was, but it was like the first, or maybe one of the first radios to go to 2.4 gigahertz, so you didn't have
Yep.
to use crystals anymore, which was
Right.
awesome. And it was better than I feel like the crystal radios, but you did have to put caps and everything.
Yep.
The range wasn't great.
I remember I used the
else?
Spectrum receiver and a module in my KO Propo Helios to make it 2.4.
I remember those. A bit like a big thing, like a
Yeah.
size of a credit card you put in the back of your radio.
Yeah.
Talk about
Yeah.
big. Those things were
Yeah.
enormous.
I know. But that's the thing, though. I mean, also, though, if the radio's very comfortable in your hand, like if you can get it super dialed in, then it's like, cool.
The weight doesn't matter.
Yeah. Some
No, I mean,
radios,
that was just what I noticed.
yeah. You know, and this is a very extreme example, but a Traxxas radio is lighter than all of them, but it feels like absolute crap in your hand because, well, everything's wrong with it.
Yeah, there's no. It's yeah. They could do a lot better with that.
Yeah.
I really like the adjustability of the M17 compared to like the M12. I do wish they had a 5-degree angle for the steering wheel instead of a 0 and a 10.
I could
There's
print
a
you
5
one.
in there. Yeah, I was thinking about asking somebody to print me one. I feel like it makes my wrist angle too much,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I'm not going to change it now because that's what I've been practicing with the whole summer.
Yep, exactly. Okay.
And, you know,
But yeah, and you know what, dude? I like a comeback story. I want to. I would like to see him do well, just so we have another option out there.
for competitive radio, well, the KO Pro is sometimes competitive.
Dude, it used to be pre 2010 ish. That Helios
Mm-hmm.
was my favorite radio chassis, like of all time. I can't explain it. JR had the exact same version, but but it had a adjustable wheel on it, and the way I hold the wheel, it would always move when I tried a buddy's vehicle. And they're like, I'm like, tighten that screw. They're like, it's all the way tight. I'm like, well, that sucks. So, anyways, in the background, if you're wondering, so this track is where the 2025 1/10 scale IFMAR Worlds is going to be held.
This is the Nationals for Australia, right?
Yeah, and I think Rivkin was here and he made a sweet move.
Yeah, he jumped over, I think it's Lachlan, in the, I wouldn't say like the left corner or something.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Aiden Burke was wondering if I saw it and what we thought about it. You know, dude, that
the radio or what?
No, of the track, sorry. We started talking about this, and then we went off on a tangent about Spectrum radios.
Yeah.
Saying the EX1. Yeah, you know, I've been racing since 1988. I've never considered a KL Propo until the Helios came out in the early 2000s, and I would definitely consider them again one day if they come out with something that I absolutely like and love.
I think they would have to go to a whole new model because right now they have like the take apart version.
Yeah.
And everybody has problems with the parts, with just the connections that come apart.
The only person who like loves it is Tebow, I believe.
I think Drew Ellis.
Okay, Drew Ellis as well.
And I think Hara runs for KO Propo.
Okay.
I saw like a Hara edition radio or something.
Gotcha.
But
so anyway,
I don't know. It's not very popular in the States anymore. I see a couple people run it. Most of the people are running Sanwa or Futaba.
Yeah.
Now it's Sanwa, Futaba, and Fly Sky.
Yeah, it's crazy, the Fly Sky thing. God damn it, quick on interviews. Go to a race. Freaking, I just kept clicking from interview to interview. Oh, look, they're actually patching. It might be hard to see, but the back of that straightaway, they're just patching a hole. Super old school. Like, you know what? I think it's going to be tough.
Did you see a picture of Rivkin's car? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I ain't. Why?
It looked like he just ran in the mud pit.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah. You know, it's going to be the exact opposite. Like, don't get me wrong, the Worlds in Spain, it was really cool. But we knew that the Europeans were going to have an advantage. And I'll say this, I don't think anybody's going to have an advantage on this track.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think Tebow comes out of retirement for this race?
But runs what?
It doesn't matter. Probably an Associated.
He's already kind of been flirting with it. He was going to go to that. I don't know, man. I hope so. But here's the deal.
He's one of the great like true off-road dirt racers.
Yeah.
I wonder if we see Cav move up the list because he's also one of those.
So here's the question, though, for the associated racers. Do they build a pimped out factory team RB10?
Well, they have Spencer ran the B7D, I think is what he said.
He did, but there's always the option for a team associated. Like you know how with the Worlds they
B3 parts.
yeah, they had the B3 parts. Now this RB10 though is in production. I'm trying to bring it up. I need an actual mouse. I need a whole new freaking computer setup actually, but yeah, well but Associated actually makes a rear motor car.
It would have to be like a B7 rear motor.
It wouldn't take much to make it competitive. Because
if you could put the B7 front end on that car, maybe.
I bet you they're working on it. Because there's something. So everybody always asks me about why don't we race in Starbuck anymore? And there's a lot of reasons, but everybody's like, oh, we'll work on it. We'll work on it. Well, at the end of the day, this track up in Starbuck, Minnesota, there it is. This track up in Starbuck, Minnesota would need all new dirt. It no longer works with current cars.
Even with like a whole shot tire?
Doesn't, nope.
What do you mean it doesn't work? Like it's not fun to drive on, or like
it's terrible for a mid-motor car? Wheeler's fun.
Wheeler's always fun.
Yeah. Wheeler is always fun. But so they got these. And it's a B5M or a B5 rear motor, excuse me. But they would have to get rid of all that ready to run shit right there.
It's not sharing.
I
can't see what you're.
Sorry about that. I was just looking at the rear of the car. The way this all connects is terrible, but that's very easy. And I guarantee all the carbon parts for the B5 would work for this.
I don't think they would do that.
That's a B5 front shock tower with holes for the SR10. That's a B5 front end, 100%.
Yeah, so, I mean, let's see. I think they would. I think Associated. Well, I don't know.
I've raced a lot of outdoor dirt. I used to love it.
And they come out with a B7 Worlds Car Edition.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
They're not going to make it into... They might do like a limited run or something like that.
Yeah. No.
But...
Don't they... So if they run it at the Worlds, it has to be put into production or be in production.
I don't know that to be the truth.
It is. And
okay, so question.
Yep.
Well, go ahead. I will shit in the Cheerios later.
Well, the reason being is because the double X4, they quit making that in 2000. Okay, when the triple X4 came out. But then some Australian dude, I think it was in Australia, won the Worlds in like 2002 or 4 with the double X4, and Losi had to re-release a Worlds car.
Yeah, after the fact.
Yeah, they did it after the fact, but I think there was something stipulating that they had to.
I think the parts have to be available for purchase, or like the first runs, like there's got to be something so that there's no tomfuckery, because that's like, that doesn't, why? So I'm gonna say, so I run the Awesomatics car.
Yep.
I don't run for the team, but I run the car.
Right.
And right now they have a steel chassis, and there's like 10 in the world or something that they have made.
Yep.
From what I hear, they're not planning on making more before the Worlds.
Okay.
Apparently this is the chassis to have for the car, and it's a whole thing. But so I'm not going to be able to get this chassis.
Do you know what kind of steel they use?
It's stainless. I don't know
Oh.
beyond that. It's
Oh.
1.2 millimeters thick, I believe,
Yeah.
and it's stainless. Apparently, it's very resilient to crash. But anyway,
My
so
wheels are turning right now. Sorry. I
would
could
love.
it would be extremely expensive. That's the thing, because you, with the Awesomatics, you would have to go by machinist standards and not stamping standards. Stamping standards is plus or minus 5/1000ths of an inch. Machining
Well,
standards, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, machining standards are like tenths of a thousandth of an inch. They should be. They should be.
I would be surprised if it's 0.005. So 5,000.
Well, 5/1000ths is stamped. I could make a chassis right now.
Do it.
Literally. We got a laser. We just got a brand new laser
Do it.
that you
I'll
could
send you
literally
a chassis.
you could literally take the chassis and do it. But the problem is a stainless. Now, are they using a 301? Are they using a
Brian
360?
says it's spring, but it's shiny.
Oh, it's a spring steel. So I bet it's a spring stainless. I bet it's a 301 spring full hard. I bet you that's what it is.
Let me know how much it costs, Joe.
I don't know. Well,
Apparently.
I'll talk to my laser guy tomorrow, because we made crawler parts out of the laser before too.
I'm kind of kidding, kind of not kidding. I don't know. I would love just to buy the chassis. I don't like,
Right.
and I understand that they're having some production issues making them perfect and this, that, the other thing. It was announced like, I want to say like 3 months ago that they had this steel chassis.
Here's the
I
thing.
thought for sure it would be ready though.
5/1000ths is a lot. That is almost the thickness of a sheet of paper. That's huge.
I don't know the tolerances, but I
would have to sit and measure one. I would have to sit and measure one from edge to hole, hole to hole. You know, it's a whole thing. Hole.
I know. I've had chassis made before.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would be kind of cool, but that would suck if we make it for, let's say we made 2, and then after all the machining and but out of all the machining and countersinking, I'm doing the dirty math in my head right now.
Probably like $700.
$475 per chassis.
I think Awesomatics is probably going to be. How much is the aluminum with the tungsten?
Oh,
I think it's like $300 for the chassis and the tungsten weights. I bet it's going to be close to $300 for this chassis.
But you see, that's their upmark. So I'll give you an example with no real customer, but we have customer A that makes a widget, and we charge them for the complete part $1.15 for it. And then I see it on their webpage for $34.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee that's the exact thing Awesomatics is doing.
For this, so I was told there was a lot of waste material because they're having a hard time keeping the chassis flat.
Yeah.
Machining because of the thickness.
No, that makes
Um,
sense. So if Brian's saying it's spring steel, and let's say you do
But-
something like cut it, you heat treat it a little. Oh man, there's so much that makes that thing just warp, and then steel has a memory. So even if you flatten it out, it could very easily bounce back. People don't know that steel has a memory.
I mean, Brian, maybe you know, but why are they still making the same chassis shape?
That's true too.
So, the chassis shape is looks like a, I don't know. There's no cutouts around the bulkheads to generate flex. Like all the other chassis of every car except one manufacturer, one time. And so that design doesn't generate a lot of grip. And so we're having like problems generating grip on some surfaces. Maybe I don't know that that's like really what's going on, but nobody's tried a different chassis that I've heard of, a different chassis design after all this. And I'm speculating, but it seems like the Osmatics was on top of the world for like 4 years. From
Right.
17 to like 21. About 4 years. And
I need pictures of the steel chassis. That it's probably none online.
if you go to it's a chassis focus. Who does the chassis focus? Like Petit RC? Oh, ETS maybe? Go to ETS chassis focus. Let's see, it would probably be Mark Reinhard.
Okay, I'll make my way there.
Let me see if I can find it.
Because
we need 2024. I'll just go to.
there's the ETS touring car series. Is that what we want to be under here?
I think so.
It's just because I put in ETS in my search bar, and nothing came up. But I know I've seen the chassis focuses, but I usually see the chassis focuses reposted by like Circus RC or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to the photos. Let's see here.
Anyway, yeah, you keep looking. But I mean, I can have stuff made, but dude,
I'm not worried about it. It's not going to make a hill of beans a difference for me.
yeah.
Like I said, I'm going to buy. So probably what I'm going to do is buy the aluminum chassis with the tungsten weights and do that.
Brian's oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, that's it.
Well, he's saying this weekend he had 10 millimeter wide strip of schmutz down the whole side of the car front to back. Generating grip is doable.
The rub is not grip. Don't conflate the two.
And then Jacob goes, why couldn't they do plastic chassis? Too much flex or not durable enough? They used to do molded chassis, and it's just not. I don't know, man. I think there's too much flex, not heavy enough. When you think
it
not
raises
heavy
the
enough,
center of gravity.
yeah, you want all your weight on the very, very bottom. Yeah, too much money for a mold. I mean, it costs. Okay, now this is an old story, but the back in the day, O'Neill Race, the fuel company, made an A scale buggy, and it's a really good buggy. And he had it tooled through some Chinese company, and he stopped making it. And then somebody goes, well, I want to buy those molds. And I think they overinflated the price, like, hey, screw you, buddy. But it costs like $1.25 million for the molds to make an A scale buggy. So by that math, you would think a chassis mold would be $25,000, $30,000.
I don't think they're molding chassis. I think
Well,
they're
no, but I'm
doing.
saying if you're to make a mold that big.
I sent you a link.
Okay. Shoot, I shut down my Facebook.
Oh,
I will pop it up because after this we're gonna wrap up and
oh
uh,
yeah. Sorry, I've just been
no, you're
geeking out on
fine.
this.
No, you're
Um,
fine. I went
but
to
yeah. So,
open that today, dude, and so I've had no gas tank since I've been on that antibiotic. And today it was Thursday, it was especially horrific. We did Muay Thai on Thursday, and we were doing 4 counts. So I'm a southpaw, so it was left kick, right hook, left straight, right kick. And I gassed out so hard I almost vomited. And today my body just got super tired. All right, let me share the screen. Like I said, Zach, something's just not quite right with me. I don't know. And I also stayed up late last night watching the UFC fights.
you gotta take
Oh,
care of yourself, man.
I know. I've been working on it. All right.
Scroll down.
Okay, I'm scrolling. God, I just love the electronics, the way they lay out in a touring car. So this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. All right. Come on, get big. There we go. Dude, that is so freaking makeable. But the
So this
problem,
chassis is using a special type of screw.
yeah.
It's I don't know exactly, but it looks. So, are you familiar with the little set screw that holds the top deck on for like
I'm
the flex?
Is it like a shoulder bolt?
Yeah, it's like a shoulder bolt. Uh, so it's like a little flange. It's a not threaded part of the screw, and then a
Right.
threaded part.
Yep,
You know,
yep. Yeah.
uh, it looks like those, but a little bit bigger. So if like those are an M2, these are an M2.5.
Oh.
I don't know, like countersunk wise, I don't know.
Well, the countersink looks like you would have to do something different because your average countersink is either 90 degrees or 82 and a half. This could be like a 60. I don't know.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, it's really cool. I think it's awesome. I wish, uh,
Oh, Brian's saying negative. I'm just sitting here like, how could I have this? I mean, this is, I'm not going to have it made because the amount of money it would take to make like 2 or 3. The real money is if he could make like 150.
well,
Oh,
so
they're using a 90 degree. Okay.
well, you could decrease the width of the screw because those aren't regular screws. But if you did like, so you know how the countersunk screw looks like a triangle if you kind
Yeah.
of machine the edge,
Yeah.
But
Brian's saying they're M3 90 degree screws.
they look weird. I don't know.
They do
Speculating.
look, they
All
almost look
I've
like oh, let me look at that again. No, he's right. I know what they're doing.
okay.
The heads of the screws aren't as wide.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were, yeah. Sure. Sorry.
I didn't say it that elegantly. I had a brain fart here, but I've
Yeah.
seen the car in person. They look different. I don't know. I mean, if that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. It just looks kind of weird
So
compared to like a normal screw.
I would do the opposite of annealing on that guy. Yeah. No, too many ideas. Too many ideas going off in my head.
I'm not bringing a prototype chassis to the world, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have enough problems. I don't need that. I'm
I was
not.
Well, with our laser, we could only hold like 5,000 tolerance. But what I would have done is I would laser out the outside, and then I would laser out the cutouts, and then I would have all the screws drilled and machined by at least a 3-axis Bridgeport. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Brian or Matt saying it's like a $5 screw, right? At least $5.
Yeah, they're gonna be salty.
Yeah,
I think it's probably gonna be similar to the X-ray weird screw price. It was like $120 for the screws for a kit of
that's
screws.
so dumb.
Well, I mean, I looked up to reproduce those screws because so they were running a thin 1.5 mil chassis that they were using these screws for,
Yep.
and I was considering bringing them in for inertia, and the chassis never took off, but there was margin to make money on them.
Um, this looks like a screw I could get it right out of Fastenal.
Probably, but it's probably not a cheap screw.
Dude, what is this? So I don't know if you can see this. Oh crap! I hit the wrong button. I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at, Zach, but it's like this chassis was. It looked like it was marked up differently. Like they're gonna put the holes someplace else. Oh come on! I keep clicking.
What are you doing?
wrong. I keep clicking wrong because I'm trying to click on it and then I'm trying to magnify it, and it keeps
Why
going.
don't you go
I was doing that earlier.
another
But
way?
if you look at the back around this area of the chassis right here, it looks like they marked it for something else. Like
Hmm.
all this was moved back. Yeah. Inspect. Oh no, what did I just hit?
You don't want that.
Nope.
Hit
I don't
the
know.
yeah. That's a code. You don't need code.
No, I don't
Um,
know. Yeah, it won't click. But anyways, it just something interesting I saw with it. So yeah.
I don't know. It's cool. Like
Yeah.
it's cool.
It is super cool. I hope you somehow finagle one.
I'm not. I think first I would have to be on the team, and then I would have to be good, and then I would have to be above other people who are also on the team and good priority wise. So I
Right.
don't think I'm like way down there. I'm regular customer that knows the team, knows who's on the team, I should say.
Right. And that is the tough thing, like I said, with spring steel is, dude, it warps so easily. I mean, anyway, though,
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. We'll see.
it is,
I'm hoping not to buy two chassis
yeah,
because knowing my luck, I will buy it, and the next day, the steel one will come out.
I've had that happen with so much crap in RC. I've wasted so much money. And I got the new thing and I probably didn't do any better with it than I would have with whatever I had. But
I don't know on this one. I'm unsure. The flex characteristics are the main difference. It's not just the center of gravity. I think the center of gravity for the aluminum is probably going to, with the tungsten, is probably a little bit lower, but the flex characteristics of the steel are better.
yep,
I don't know beyond that.
gotcha. All right, well, man, this has been a good episode. I can't wait to get in at least one more outdoor race. We'll probably be back the Sunday after that outdoor race so I can talk about it. Hopefully my fifth scale stays together. Yeah, I want to rant about it, but I don't want to disparage the company that made the chassis for my truck, so I'm not going to rant about it. It's one of those ones I have to let go.
I'll have
So,
I'm going to a race in Tennessee, in Kentucky, as a vendor at the end of the month.
Oh, fun.
right before Worlds.
That'll be fun. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Cool.
Doug's saying machine in bat. I think that says bath table CNC router. Yeah, you would have to keep the coolant on that thing like constantly. So, all right. Well, I'm Joe Zer Jr., and with me has been my co host, Zach Donathan, and we've ran out of talent. Have a good